Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Peer Learning Labs Coaching in Action. I'm Aditi, and I'll be your host for today's session. For everyone to please note, this session will have a mentor coach, a coach, and a client. For today's session, we have Sayan Bandopadhyay as the coach, Divya Harish as the client, and Madhuri Kale as our mentor coach. Once the coaching session starts, you are expected to go on mute and off camera. The coaching session will be for 20 minutes, after which the mentor coach will provide feedback and discuss the coaching session. The mentor coach may ask a few questions from the audience, however, no feedback should be given from any attendees. After the coaching session, you may come on camera and interact with the mentor coach and coach. Please note this is a demo and not a framework or example of the coaching style you should follow. Happy learning, everybody, and over to you, Madhuri.
Thank you. Thank you, Aditi. Uh, Peer Learning Labs is very special, and especially coaching in action. 3 years ago, I was the one who launched it, and I was the coach kick-started Peer Learning Labs. So it's 3 years now. It's life has come for full circle. So I'm here on the other side. Definitely, there's some takeaway for all of us through today's session. So as I'm participating as a mentor coach today. Let's see what happens. We all will learn something. So I'm looking forward to what new can I learn about my mentoring through this session as well. This is not exactly a training session, it's a learning session, though. So it's a learning for each one of us. So, but write down your takeaways. Let's see what comes up for all of us. There are observers in this room. So just calling it out, I can see observers who are still in training, who have just started their level 1 in some sessions, some in level 2, some who have completed their trainings, some who are level 3 mentor coaches as well. I can see some familiar faces who are very seasoned in coaching. So all kinds of coaches, everybody is welcome. All your observations would be coming in from that lens. Okay. So that is how we will go about today's session. During the coaching session, like Aditi said, we will keep the cameras off and on mute. Avoid putting anything on the chat or switching on the camera, mic or speaking. All right. So welcome, coach and coachee. I'm just going to have a quick chat with the coach. If you can spotlight the coach, I can see him, and then we'll welcome the coachee. Sayan, thank you for doing this. Very warm welcome to you for today's peer learning labs.
Thank you.
What is it that you are working on today, and what would you like to focus on in today's session?
So, I think as a competency, what I've always found very challenging for me specifically is maintaining coaching presence during a conversation. So, I think that is what I would want to take as as a challenge for myself, and as a competency I would want to focus on.
Okay. And what about maintaining presence? Do you find challenging?
Um, what I've seen a couple of times, or not couple, or more than that actually. Typically, sometimes what happens is two things I've observed. One, when the coach is speaking something, I and if that thing resonates with me in either direction, I tend to be with that and not flow with the
Mm,
coachee. Maybe the coachee has gone ahead
okay.
and speaking something else, but I'm still, half of me is stuck in that,
Okay.
last point. So that is something. And the other one I think is, and this, I've always faced as a challenge is, how do I flow with the conversation and not think of what to ask?
Mm,
The thought should never be to the think of the question, but what is the next question coming up? I think that is something which is a perennial challenge to maintain presence. So I think these two things I would want to focus on
okay.
specifically.
Got that. Got that. What does flowing mean here, or flow?
So I've always seen the best conversations, either as a coach or a coachee, have happened when we have been in sync as coach and
Mm,
coachee.
mm,
So either ways, from either direction, and like one of the definitions of coaching is that dance between the coach and coachee. I think
mm,
that is what is flow for me.
mhm,
That whatever the topic the coachee is discussing or bringing up, as a coach, how do I stay with that, and how do I sort of maintain my presence in a consistent manner? I think that is
mm.
what is flow for me in coaching.
Okay. Okay. What are the ways I can support you during this coaching session? What would you like me to observe?
Maybe just how consistent am I in maintaining my presence?
Mhm.
Am I flowing with the coachee of what the coachee is bringing up? Am I present to that? In terms of the thoughts, the words being spoken, etc. And am I being able to overall, just be with the coachee throughout the conversation? That would
Okay.
help, I think.
Okay. Understood. Got that. Got that. And how would I know that you uh, are you are being with the coachee?
Um, I think you know if I'm able to be with the coachee, I think it
Mm.
will show in the quality of support that I'm able to provide, or the quality of questions I'm able to ask, and if I'm able to sort of be with the coachee, it'll show up in the way the conversation flows
Mm.
towards a logical outcome. I think
Okay.
that's how it should come up.
Got that. Got that, sign. All right. So you have about 20 minutes. We'll add the coachee in. Coachee, welcome to the conversation. Let me just look for the coachee. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Got that. Got that.
Hi, Madhuri. Hi,
Hi.
Sayan.
Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Divya.
just going to spotlight you and Sayan, and you have about 20 minutes for this conversation. Sayan, would you like me to remind you 5 minutes before the stop, or would you be keeping your own time?
I'll be keeping my time, so I
Okay.
think should be fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Over to you. Have a great conversation. And Divya, thank you so much for doing this. Really appreciate both of you for coming in for today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhuri. Hi, Divya. Good evening.
Hi, Sayan. Good evening to you.
How's been this Tuesday for you till now?
So far, so good. So I am feeling fortunate that I'm getting an opportunity to bring up my most alive, topic here. So yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And looking forward from myself as well. So, Divya, as you know, we're in a coaching conversation and we have around 20 minutes with us today. And I just want to assure you that whatever we're going to discuss here today is going to be completely confidential between both of us. And you can feel free to sort of bring up whatever comes up for you during the discussion. So you can treat it as a safe space.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sayan.
Great. So, what is it you have on your mind today?
Um, I have been a people's person always. I love making conversations, and I make genuine connections, and I enjoy the moment when I'm around people. But what I've noticed is when I walk away from a conversation or any event that involves people, uh, in that matter, any event at all, I tend to be in the moment at that time. And when I walk away, I come back into my space. I prefer being a solo, and I continue being that. Uh, so because of that, what happens is the memory of the event, the experience remains, but all the people that I've deeply connected with in that event, they become kind of blur away or they become irrelevant later. And it happens very naturally to me. So there was a point in life where I would make an effort to forcibly continue having people to as my remembrance memory of the event and everything, but like for example during my working time it was very very important for me to remember names and people and all that, and I would do that. I would maybe make a diary, make a note of things, and have people's birthdays and everything in the calendar and do all the formalities related to remembering people. um, But now what happens is, as I just turned 50, and so one of the things that I have consciously made an effort is I am stepping into a zone where I want to be real more than always right, so this understand that remembering people and maintaining things or relationships this way is doesn't feel natural to me, so I'm walking away from that. And while I do that, even though I am comfortable doing that, and now that I finally called it out myself, I'm comfortable in that space. But when I have close relatives and friends call that out, saying that, hey, you were so with us in the event, now you seem absent, you seem to ghost, or we thought you had a good time with us, and then we just felt that you were there and now you're not there, and um, you know so all that. So when they put me into an event after the event, the who I am and how I represent myself is very, very different. So when they say that, instantly the comfort level of me being in a solo space goes away, and I feel guilty, and I feel, oh, I should have done that, and again the whole old habit of wanting to force myself into do something for them comes up, and so when I'm in that space, it questions who am I really. So yeah, so I thought, let me explore. I don't have an end definition, but I just want to call this out and see if there is any way I can create a balance, between the two situations. Yeah.
Understood. Understood. So, just wanted to understand, Divya, what makes it so critical for you to bring this up, and what makes it important for you to discuss this topic today?
Mm. Yeah, so it's important because when very close people who you look up to and you like in general, but you're not maintaining any kind of relationship with them, or in general, that's who I am. And when they call it out that or they advise you that it's important for you to maintain connections, and even people at a mentor level tell me that I need to maintain connections and I can't just forget people. So it makes me look at myself as someone who's being a fair weather friend, or probably somebody who is selfish. And yeah, and mostly I feel I disappointed them, because when I was there, I truly made that connection. I was enjoying the moment too, but somewhere maintaining doesn't come naturally to me. Things that you do to maintain doesn't come naturally. I just live happily with the experience, but don't do anything about it. So yeah, so when they call it out, at that point of time, when I'm like, for example, when someone I look up to call me and it advised me this, temporarily it convinced me, oh yeah, and almost started working on it. But again, because I told myself that I will be who I am naturally, uh, so yeah, when I feel I'm disappointing them, so it's like I'm in a dilemma. Should I just tell that person or tell the world that, hey, you know what, I am in the moment at that time, but after that I am a solo person, so don't make any meaning out of it. If I want to say that, it doesn't come because I feel I might break their heart by saying that. Yeah, that's what it is.
Hmm. 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 Understood. So, Divya, what would be a good outcome for you from today's conversation?
um, yeah, what if I am able to come up with a way to find a balance, like between uh, or at least understand if there is a balance possible between me believing that I want to be more of a no strings attached person after a great communication, or a connection with friends and associates and whatever, and yeah, whether I can allow myself to be there confidently, like how I am when I'm before someone calls out, before somebody shows disappointment or advice or observance. At that time, if I'm able to still hold on to the fact that yeah, that is true, but this is true too, if I'm able to say that, yeah, what does it take to say that? Yeah.
Hmm. 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 How is this making you feel right now? What are the emotions coming up for you once when you discuss this?
Yeah, one is that, or something that's coming up strongly for me is, even when I think of having this discussion with someone, somewhere the whole there is a guilt, unknown guilt, which comes up, as if like what they are saying is true. Probably it's true. Probably it's a flaw in me. That I tend to move on so soon, and I led them on. When I was there, I made them believe that I'm a part of them, and we hold, it's all so much fun about, and they have begun to count on me for more such connections and time. So when I ghost like that, I somewhere feel like someone. Yeah, I feel it's a lack of an ability, and all that guilt, that comes up. So right now, even now when I'm talking to you, it even feels like a guilty that I'm even bringing this topic up. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I can sense that. It's also apparent, and I can also sense that somewhere a dichotomy, within you. Um, you use some very, quite strong words, and I wanted to reflect on them. Uh, but before that, going back, you started with a very interesting phrase, saying that it's about the real you,
Hmm.
and not what others want you to be, but it's a real you, not the right. You're real, not the right you, is the exact words you said.
Yeah.
um, I wanted to reflect on that. When you said that, or now when you think of that, what's coming up?
You're right. So for me, being real means being aligned with myself. So there is no judgment of right or wrong there. So in overall, when I look at how I look at being real, is is just accepting and acknowledging who I am. And when it is right, that is what I have been living by all my life, in the sense that do what is supposed to be done, or do what is required. Now that required can be from the world, or something that I have built as a rule, or anything. So there is it comes with a boundary, and I stay in that boundary. I've been happy about it. I'm not saying that it's not something that I don't know, I detest. It's not that way. But this time I want to consciously be aligned with something that is coming naturally to me. So that's the real and right is what I'm talking right now. Like, I feel I should quickly mend a few people's, if someone says that, hey, you didn't show up, or there was something that we were supposed to do after the event. You were supposed to call up, you were supposed to meet up after that. You didn't. So I either say a white lie, or I say, oh, I give some excuse or whatever. But so that's what I feel is right. But if I had been real, I should be able to tell them, yeah, I know, I want you to understand this about me, that I am there when I'm there, but otherwise I'm very content in a space that is where I belong to, and it doesn't involve people or things or anything. I'm a people's person, but when I'm there in that event at that time. So when I say all this, even now when I'm saying all this, I feel, um, how will they look at it, and something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Hmm.
hmm,
Hmm. You did mention this fact of, and I think it's coming up during the conversation as well, that how will people look at it?
hmm,
What will they think, kind of thing.
hmm, hmm.
Um, which part of Divya does does this need come from? What need of yours does this satisfy?
Hmm. Probably, it's more of, me trying to somewhere tell them that it's not that I am selfish, or somewhere I'm trying to pacify somebody who is looking at me as someone who disappointed them. The whole disappointment part is like, I led them on, it seems like, that I I made them believe that this connection is going to be continuing and it will be maintained. That's how I came across when people generally, or even this is even about family, very except my immediate family who knows me already, but even very close relationship, they are very surprised at that. So when they, so I feel I am disappointing them. So yeah, so the part of me which doesn't want to disappoint them is what makes me think how will they feel about it. So yeah. Mm, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. So, connecting this back to the guilt that you mentioned, right? And I think that is also something that you mentioned as what you wanted to achieve.
Hmm.
What, in your view, keeping this in mind, keeping this need that you mentioned in mind, what in your view is, something that you can do to keep this guilt at bay, and still be the real you that you want to be? What are what are some of the alternative approaches that you can take?
um One is just be like make it blatantly true that I just tell them like how I'm talking to you, just tell them uh, without thinking about how they feel. Just come out with it once and keep saying that every time to all the people who observe something or show disappointment. And at the same time, I think more than telling them, I think I need to tell myself probably that um, it's okay to be that. Probably I'm someone who is who who connects deeply in conversations, but after that chooses, yeah, something that comes is like it's a uh, maybe I'm a person who's a little more free spirited, which I've not accepted, and so maintaining things and all that makes me put the pressure of certain things which I don't know what it is, but it must be making me feel that way. One of the things why I feel uncomfortable about it. So ask myself that and sit with it and maybe reflect on it and work on it, but address the discomfort first, like get rid of that by at least telling the person who just spoke to me, I tell them that, hey, this is what it is really, not that I explain it to them and forget about what they feel and think it'll come up. So at least take that first step of letting them know that this is what is coming to me naturally, and this is what I mean, and this is what it is. Yeah. So that seems to be one thing which I have not tried. Like even in that conversation, I ended up saying, "Oh, okay, I get it." They advised me, and I said, "Okay, I'll work on it. Let me think about it." Yeah, yeah, you make a point, or something like that. Instead of that, I never explained where I come from because at that time, instantly, I felt, yeah, they are right. I didn't think about it, but yeah, oh, yeah, it seems right. I need to work on this. Yeah, so maybe I might tell them that I was reflecting on this, but this is what comes up, or something like that. Or maybe I say I had a coaching session on this, and this is what comes up. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. And how does this approach now sound to you if you look at this approach dispassionately, removing yourself from the situation? If you look at it from a neutral perspective, how does this approach sound to you?
Uh, See, yeah, exactly. So now the only way I can accept it is right now because I feel like I'm detached from that whole situation. So when I see that, it seems a very um, logical, or it seems a very straightforward thing to do. Yeah, and if it's
Hmm.
straightforward, that is also real to me. So yes, so if I take away all the emotions that I spoke about and do it, uh,
Hmm.
that is also aligned with me being real, I think. So see, Sayan, right now it seems, yeah, this is doable. This seems good. Like, the feeling is like, yeah, this can be tried.
Hmm.
Uh, but how it will pan out is still a blur. But at least I feel from my side, again, the concept of not thinking about what it is about the other person, if I highlight that part, that, let me not think about them at this point of time, but try and see what I can do with the discomfort that I have, and then
Yeah.
approach it that way, it seems like a good step to, yeah, like a good way to take it forward. Yeah.
Brilliant. And what are some of your strengths that you can use as you try this approach?
What comes is to me again is the thing that I started with, saying that I am a people's person. I have never had any issues talking to people or communicating.
Hmm.
So if I bring that on, if I put that hat on as a person who can speak her heart out, or in general speak, so, or communicate what she feels like,
Yeah.
again, that has to come from a place of mm, yeah, no nothing should be heavy and emotional, that guilt and all that. When that comes, that's when I'm stuck. For it's not about words, it's about communicating your intent. That doesn't happen there. So now if
Hmm.
I look at it that way, that I am creative about speaking, so why not use that, or c- create a good communication around it. Yeah, say something that protects me and also doesn't disappoint other people. Could be creative about it. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Great. So, where do you think we have reached with respect to what you wanted to achieve from the conversation?
I think I have moved from where I was towards, I wouldn't say I have got, so the proof of the pudding is like, once I get I get to it, do that first conversation is when I will test what it is right now. But at least it makes
Hmm.
me feel a bit more myself, or it makes me feel mm, less guilty, or makes me feel a little lighter about the whole topic. And I'm glad that I brought it up, even though in the beginning it seemed, is this even the topic? But I wanted to keep the topic that is alive, or that's there for me. So
Yeah.
that way I feel there is a breakthrough here. I do feel that there is something I can do about it, instead of just being stuck in how will they feel, or how does this sound. It was not sounding good to me, but now it feels like, it doesn't matter how it sounds or whatever. Let me look at it from this point of view, that it's making me uncomfortable.
Good to hear that. And yeah, I agree. I mean, like you said, it's about the real you. So,
Yes.
thanks, Divya, for bringing this up. And do you think we're in a position where we can pause the conversation for today?
Sure. 20 minutes is done. I didn't realize that it's time has flown. Thank you so much for your presence, Sayan. It really helped me. Thank you.
Thank you, Divya. My pleasure, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right, coach and coachy, thank you so much for that real conversation. Divya, thank you again, once again, for keeping it real, bringing in something that you were dealing it, and being so vulnerable in front of this entire audience. This is, friends, everything, whatever is said is confidential, as the coach had called out as well. So, thank you so much, Divya. We are going to put you on mute now.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right. Sayan, coach, how was that for you?
No, I think, like you said, Divya being, she actually put herself out there and being vulnerable. I think that helped
Mm,
because when I think the coachee allows the coach to sort of come in and
mm,
sort of bring up everything in an authentic manner. It always helps. So,
sure.
I mean, at least I felt good doing the conversation with her, and
Right.
of course, the feedback is yours. So.
Okay. How are you feeling now after the conversation?
No, I'm feeling good. I was just wondering if there's something that I missed bringing up, and that's again maybe a little bit deeper reflection would be required on my part as well.
Mm, mm.
But I'm feeling quite good after the conversation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We had started by speaking about two things that you wanted to observe, which was presence and flow of the conversation. What were
Yeah.
some of your reflections around these two?
So I think the fact that I mentioned it upfront, and thanks for asking that question, I think that made me conscious, and I consciously made an attempt throughout the conversation to
Mm.
be present,
Oh.
so that I don't lose my
Mm,
um, focus anywhere. So it was a conscious attempt. I don't know if that disturbed the flow or not, but I tried to maintain that in a conscious manner.
mm,
Uh, Regarding the flow, I think on reflection, maybe I mean, I felt I was there. Maybe once or twice I could have maybe been a bit more, uh, you know, catching on, what she was trying to say, and maybe probe a little deeper. So what I felt is maybe a couple of areas could have been probed deeper, but otherwise, I think I tried to maintain the flow to the
mm.
best possible manner.
Okay. What are some of the evidences which tell you that the coach maintained the flow?
Uh, One was, I think, so what I think what happened in the conversation is we started from the topic, from what she wanted to achieve, and uh, the thoughts and emotions, and then moving on to what actually comes up in terms of the thoughts in various situations, what comes up, and then sort of taking it logically to the next step, wherein what are the possible outcomes or options rather, or
Mm,
approaches that can be used. And then of course, how does the coachee use her strengths, etc., to sort of provide closure. So I
mm.
think I again consciously try to sort of maintain that flow.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's something which is coming up for me.
Okay. Please refer to yourself as coach during the reflection. Yeah. So, all right.
Sure.
I also felt that the coach was there. There was a point in time in terms of the flow. There was a point when the coach was nodding, and the coach and coachee were both nodding and smiled, and that was some of the things which told me about 5.4 and 5.3. These are some of the sub-competencies that you had asked me to look for in terms of the presence and flow. So it was evident during that time. I'm going to check in with all the observers. Can you put in the chat box what uh, went well? One thing that the coach did well in terms of the presence, right? Meanwhile, I'm just very curious, coach. There were a couple of places that the coach asked about what makes it, saying understood. So, what was the reason the coach kept asking about, wanting to understand anything?
No, I think what I basically wanted to sort of communicate to the
Mm,
coach is that I am whatever I mean, what she explained in terms of, and that was then the beginning of when she was laying
mm,
out the structure and what she wanted to achieve. And I think I just wanted to communicate that, yeah, I'm aligned, or I'm getting what you're sort of trying to say. So that's a way of sort of I tried to just
mm.
communicate back to her, saying that I'm there. I mean, I think that's maybe because I was conscious of trying to maintain presence. That's why maybe this
Okay.
this came up as an unconscious sort of way. Yeah.
Got that. Got that. So there were a couple of, if you now have to rephrase this, if you don't say understood, and if you have, or checking in what makes the coach say understand, or I want to understand. Okay. Now, if you have to rephrase, what could the coach have asked instead?
So I think one option is I could have maybe paraphrased
Mhm.
what she said in my own words.
Okay.
and asked her back that, is this, I hope I'm, understanding you correctly, and this is my understanding of it, so you can let me know. So
Yeah.
maybe that could be one.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Um, it was presence that we were speaking about. I'm and there are a lot of nuggets coming your way. The question about really you, not yeah. If I understand you correctly, okay. Adir says that pause. Didn't rush into questions. Yes, that's what some things that I also observed. The coach was there. There was a part where the coach also mentioned, I can sense that somewhere. I can sense it. There was a part which was mentioned, which again was coach acting in response to the coachee, which is again connected to the maintains presence. So I thought that the coach did that very well. Um, I'm just curious though, again, about guilty. There was talk about guilty, and there was a sudden shift in energy during that conversation. So, what happened there during this when the coach and coachee were talking about guilty?
I think this came up in a couple of occasions, and
Mm.
I felt that that was something that needed to be addressed, because
Mm. Mm.
I felt one of the underlying reasons, or one of the underlying strong sort of thoughts or emotion, was actually related to this. So I just wanted to probe it a little deeper, which is why
Mm.
I sort of put it back to her, saying that, then if that's how it is, then let's sort of explore it and
Yeah.
see if something comes out
Sure.
of it.
Sure. Okay. What else? What else happened in terms of presence in your observation about the coach?
I think so what I'll possibly also do is go through the recording of this, but I try to consciously maintain that what I possibly need to do is be a little more non-conscious about, or I don't know what the English is, but not be conscious about maintaining presence,
Okay.
not really worry too much right now. I think that was at the back of my mind, that I have to be, since I'm being, since I've already declared that that's a
Okay.
challenge.
Mm.
So I think I just need to sort of allow myself to flow a little bit more and not be conscious
Mm.
about maintaining presence. So that
Sure.
is something I possibly need to work on.
Sure. And when you are not conscious, what is that coach look like?
Freer, um, more free flowing. I
Okay.
mean, I guess the conversation will be a little more free flowing if I'm not too conscious about it. So yeah,
Okay. And free flowing tells you how is Sayan free flowing? What happens to Sayan when he's free flowing?
I think when I'm free flowing, I just sort of allow myself to go with whatever is happening and not really think too much.
Mm.
Be more instinctive in the entire thing. So I
Okay.
think I wasn't very instinctive. I think that's what happens. If I'm free flowing, I'll allow my instincts to take over.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that share. I thought that was beautifully done. The flow and the free flow. I don't know where the free flow came from, but earlier we were talking about flow. So very nicely done, coach. Um,
Thank you.
yeah. Uh, there were some questions. I thought it was I think the coach did talk about flow, and allowed the coachee also to choose the outcome and checked in terms of the guilt and guilty. That's the part which stood out for me as well, where keeping in mind and then connecting the dots back to what the coachee was saying. I think that was evidence for the coach having presence uh, in the conversation.
Sure.
All
Sure.
right. Okay. I'm going to take a pause. Is that okay? Anything else coming up for you that you would like to reflect on?
No, I think that was pretty much it. I think what will happen is, once I go through the recording, possibly it will help me come up with more observations.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Sure.
think
Sure. Other than that, confidentiality, safe space was called out. I think uh, this is something for everyone. More than calling out the safe space, I thought the coach created the safe space, allowing the coachee to bring in that authentic and real conversations. So that silence that the coach provided, that pause, and the no rush to get into something. So I thought that was well done. So many a times I noticed that coaches rush in to say things and call outs. This is a safe space. This is a without actually creating one. So this coach actually created that safe space even before and after it was called out. So that was done well. I know that was not something that we were going to talk about, but it just stood out for me. So I'm just sharing that
Sure.
as well. Yeah. All right.
Thanks.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling now?
Good, feeling good. I was, I was before doing this. I was a bit of performance pressure. There's so many people watching on. It's the first time I'm doing it in front of an audience, so to say. But and that to experienced coaches. But I think, and thanks to Divya, I think I mean the conversation went, at least for me. I mean it went well, and I also learned a lot from the conversation. So
Okay. Okay. So right now, are you flowing or free flowing? Sorry, I couldn't stop myself to ask.
free flowing.
Okay. Got that, Sayan. Thank you so much. Well done. Thank you for bringing your 100% self as a coach for today's conversation. We are going to
Thank
invite
you.
everybody in. We can remove us from the spotlight, and we'll take questions. But the questions are please note that what you just saw are real conversations about. What happened was the coach and coachee having a conversation. So if you have something to share or ask, please refer to them as coach and coachee and not by names. No feedback, as Aditi had also reminded us earlier. So inviting everybody to come in on camera and share your observations. I can see some have already come in into the chat box as well. Okay. Any questions, thoughts, anything coming up for anybody in this conversation? Aditi, we'll start with you since you're on camera. Hi, Danya. Hello.
So this was very interesting for me to witness and how Sayan took everything so gradually and slowly. So that is something that on a general basis, I'm also learning from all the coaches around me, how to take conversations slowly, how to be present in the moment. I'm so sorry, my dog is crying in the background. If
No
hopefully you
problem.
guys can. Okay. So
Thank you.
that is something that I really appreciated, and that is something that I'm also learning from.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Danya?
Yeah. So what I liked is the neutral tone because I find myself when I talk with a lot of emotion, and I am trying to bring a little bit of neutrality to the tone. So I observe that about the coach, and that's the learning. So every time I listen to coaches, that's something that I pick up, and I also like the way the coach closed the session.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
right moment, asking the right question, saying that, okay, where are we right now? Discussion. Yeah, that was something that I really liked.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's always nice to have that pause and the neutrality of the tone. Very nicely observed, Danya. Thank you. Okay. What is that one question you would like to ask the coachee? And you can put it in the chat box for everybody's learning. If there is one question you would like to ask, what would that be?
I'm on the phone, so typing is a little difficult. Can I?
You can speak. Yes.
What I was thinking is dwelling a little bit on the belief about the guilt.
Okay.
Where is the guilt coming from?
Sure. Thank you.
And
All right.
and one more, like, and what are the other areas that same pattern is observed?
Mm.
Is it only in this kind of scenario, or
Yeah, I thought guilt was explored in a very different way in by this coach. That was also very interesting to observe. That without directly checking in on the guilt, I thought it was the layers of the guilt emerged in the way this conversation went about. But yeah, there could be another layer to it, Danya. So this could also be another question that we could ask. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. What else? If anybody wants to open mic and ask question, you can also go ahead. There is a question which Durga has also put in. What is it about disappointing others? Yes. Now, in this entire thing, I felt the coach was staying on what the coachee wanted to achieve, and hence, uh, coach, is that something that was a choice that you made? That's what. Yep.
Broadly, yes. Broadly,
Hmm.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So the coach also called out that the presence and flowing with the coachee, and hence the coachee wanted to achieve something. And if you look at the maintains presence, the competency, it also talks about how the coach is curious about what is happening. However, they are also ensuring that they are present in that coach with that coachee. Okay, wherever they wanted to go, wherever the client wanted to go. So that was done well. In my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Madhuri, one more thing that I liked also is the fact that Shayan also mentioned, uh, asked the coachee about, the coach also asked the coachee about the strengths that they will use to implement whatever they have talked about.
Yes.
So that was a very forward-looking, point in the conversation, I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What else? There is one Soumya has written. What does being a people person mean? Uh, Soumya, very true. It actually popped up for me also, because there were at least 4 or 5 times when the client kept talking about being a people. I am a people person, almost trying to say I am a people person. So yes, this curiosity did arise. Yep. Go ahead, Soumya.
No, no, I was just about to say that somewhere I felt like that the coachee was, saying that although I'm a people person, as if it was contradictory that you couldn't be a people person and
Hmm.
do whatever, like want to have your own time, as
Hmm.
if those were contradicting.
Yeah. And what did you observe about the coach? What did he do in that moment when the coachee kept saying about people person, but the contra? What did you observe the coach doing?
I don't think I looked at the coach. I was looking at the coachee.
Okay, thank you, Soumya. Thank you so much. I got that. If I may add, because I was looking at that coach at that moment, I felt the coach chose to look at not the people person, but what was happening to the coachee, and she had spoken about the guilt and what is not happening. So that is what came up for me. Thank you, Soumya. Thanks for the observation. Sridhar,
Yeah, good evening.
hi.
Am I
Yeah.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Hi.
yes.
Yeah, one question can be
Hmm.
what the coachee has to become, to bridge from
Mhm.
the present state to the desired state.
Sure,
What the coachee has to become.
sure. Very nice. So, Kochi, there are some questions that are coming your way. You may choose to reflect on them. A lot of coaches here, so go ahead and do that. Praveen has also asked a question. Kochi mentioned that she needed to find a balance between two conflicting personalities. I would have asked, yeah. So again, this was a choice at that moment that the coach was making. Okay, where the coachee wanted a certain outcome, which was about seeking a balance and then talking about it. So the coach kept coaching in that direction, and there were so many prompts where the coach could have explored further, and this is one thing which will always happen in a coaching conversation. So you can ask, you can allow the coachee to choose, hey, I'm hearing this, where would you like to go? And a couple of times the coach did do that as well. Okay, so excuse me. Somebody from my office is calling. They don't know I'm here. So excuse me for that. Yeah. All right. What else? Coach, checking in on you. How are you receiving all the comments and all the questions that are coming up?
Very helpful. A lot of very different perspectives, and I was also thinking that and I could have used these multiple approaches also. One thing also as a reflection that I'm thinking of is the topic itself. I think is quite deep. Um, and at every, like you said, at every point there were multiple choices that had to be made. uh, but maybe this such a topic can actually have a much I mean, maybe multiple sessions or deeper reflections also. So it's a very deep topic. It's not, so there's some topics which can be done, in a single session and be done with. I felt that this is a very deep topic, and now on hearing everybody, I'm that belief is getting reinforced that there are so many options that can be taken in such a topic.
Yeah. It's always to check in, also good to check in. So what are your takeaways from this conversation for everyone, and including Divya? You can also write down separately to me only, but everybody else. What are your takeaways from this conversation? What are you learning for yourself as a coach, as an observer, as a coachee? You can put it in the chat box, open mic and speak. Either which ways works. Anagha has written something. I heard belief with the client that she had to choose between being a people person. Sure, sure. If you could not fail, what would you like to try? Yes, that can be a question as well. Naval, can you say more about this question? Where's Naval?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Shashikala is putting her hand up. Before that, I heard somebody saying, "Am
Yeah.
I audible?"
Okay. It's Naval here. I not. I
Yes.
mean, I heard you. I heard you name me. That's why I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Good evening.
yeah, good evening. You had put a question, so I just wanted to check in. Could you say more about that question?
Yeah, it was from a coach's perspective. I
Sure,
asked. I mean, that
sure.
could be a question,
Okay.
which psychologically brings a safety net for the coachee,
Okay.
that if you cannot fail
Hmm.
in any of the areas, maybe it could be anything, then what would you like to try for?
Sure.
That might open up a whole new perspective for the coachee to wander around
Okay.
and come back with lot of awareness or evoke awareness in that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Naval. Sashikala.
Thank you. Well, it was a great conversation. The topic was very deep. As the coach mentioned, it was a very deep topic, and a lot of different perspectives were there. And it could have, presence was felt. Yes, presence was definitely there. And the conversation went in a particular direction chosen by both of them, both the coach and the client. Yeah. And of course, it gave an opportunity to delve deeper into the real person the client is, It could have gone more deeper into what the client really wants and what the client is, who is the client. It could have dwelled deeper when the client told the right me and the real me. Means what is the right one and what is the real one, right? So that could have been an opportunity to dwell deeper into the real client.
Yeah.
That's what I felt.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that observation. Had there been more time, I'm sure it
Yeah.
would have gotten into that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Currently,
Yeah.
it was a choice that the coach and coachee made, and
Yeah.
I kept looking at both the coach and coachee, or listening to them. Um, it always felt that it was a nice little give and take happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
It was
was,
good.
yeah, it never felt that the coach is pushing a little bit more for
Yes.
outcomes. The coach was absolutely comfortable being in the space where the coachee was.
Yeah,
So
it was very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Nice conversation.
that's the coach's presence that we all observed, friends.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your observations, for sharing your questions. And coach and coachee, once again, thank you so much for doing this with all of us. A lot of learnings and lot of takeaways for each of us who are observing here. I'm going to hand it over to Aditi. Aditi, we want to close off?
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Madhuri, for being here. Thank you, coach, and thank you, coachee. And thank you, everyone, for being here this evening.
Yeah.
See you next time.
We'll see you next time. See you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.